Hi, everybody.
I was supposed to say that first. So
but you weren't saying it, so...
Hello again.
Hello.
It's been a little bit.
It has.
We were hoping to have this more consistent, but it's a crazy time of year.
It's fine.
But it's also an important time of year because...
Super important time. This week, we celebrated 13 years since we got engaged.
I'm so glad you didn't ask me to do the math on that one.
I had to think about it for a second, too.
And our engagement was special, and so we're going to tell you a little story about it. You guys probably figured it out, but
no.
We're going to tell you a little story about it. So,
spoiler alert.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Rising up like a phoenix's, been tired of pushed down the ground. Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get, go, I get, go, I get.
So our engagement was special as Disney fans because we got engaged at Disneyland.
What?
Yeah.
I bet you didn't see that coming.
I said we shouldn't wear the hats to give it away, but
I look so pretty in it.
she likes the hat. We don't get to wear them ever, really.
Not very often. Our kids like to play with them sometimes, which is why they're not in the best of shape, but it's okay.
So how many years ago this week?
We just talked about that.
What was that again? What's the math on that?
Lucky 13.
13 years ago
Guys,
week.
We were 12 when we got engaged. So. Obviously.
We got engaged at Disneyland.
We were babies.
Mm-hmm. And so we were going to school and living in LA. We had graduated, or almost graduated, not yet graduated. We were like days away, weeks away from graduating from college. And I had a personal...
Like one day.
Yes, like
day
one day.
You told me that you would not even consider getting engaged until we had graduated
I was going to say,
college.
I had a personal conviction that I would not ask Jessica to marry me until I was sure I was going to graduate from college, I think was what was going on there. And so, yeah, like a day before graduation.
So close.
I popped the question. But, living in LA, I had lots of options as far as like fun, romantic places to be able to ask Jessica to marry me at. And, the reason that I chose Disneyland was because Jessica is a huge Disney fan, but also a lot of our relationship in college, a lot of the best memories of our relationship in college was taking trips to Disneyland and spending time there together. And so it seemed like an appropriate place to
it's like our favorite
get engaged.
Place to go on dates.
That's right.
College.
Yeah.
We had annual passes.
Yeah. So we went often.
We went all the time.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to propose to me there?
Because I knew she would say yes there. I was like, if I ask her on the beach,
I do love the beach.
She loves the beach too. But I knew that would be a good one. So what I did was I found out from a friend who worked... Friend? I'm not going to name names. Can I name names?
Who told you?
I found out from a friend, one of your friends, who I don't know if she wants to be named on this, who worked at Disney, at Disneyland.
No, she didn't work at Disneyland yet, though. So I don't think...
I swear I was told by this friend that you could call Disneyland.
We heard from someone, but I don't know if it was her.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't her. I heard from someone that you could call Disneyland.
She did end up working for Disneyland.
And tell them that you wanted to get engaged there and they would help you out. That was basically the gist of it. And so that is what I did, not really expecting too much of it. I was like, okay, I'll like...
Well, you thought, like, from what you told me, that they might help you, like, secure, like, a location so that it wouldn't be too crowded, like that kind of help, right?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but
Help from Disney. Yeah.
I thought there'd be some kind of help. We already had annual passes, so we could get into the park without having to pay extra in. So I called, and I was really surprised to learn that they had like a whole department for this sort of thing, which I hear they don't have anymore. So if you're watching this video, don't get excited if you're wanting to get engaged at Disneyland, because I hear this does not exist anymore.
Also, if you want to get engaged at Disneyland right now, also not a great time for that.
Yes, true. So, wah wah. Can't get engaged at Disneyland.
I've seen a few people getting
but...
engaged recently at Disney World, though. So
okay,
that's
there you
still
go.
a thing.
But there was apparently a time where you could call their phone line and you'd be like, hey, I want to get engaged to my girlfriend at your park. And they were like, great, let me transfer you to that department. And so that's exactly what happened. They transferred me to the events department, and I told them again what I wanted to do. And they're like, awesome, we're going to help you out. Where would you like to do it? And I said, I don't know. You tell me. And they said, well, here are your options. You've got a couple different spots that are normally good spots. And we kind of went through the options. And then, they sort of asked me what I wanted it to look like. And actually, I think the person that I talked to on the phone, who was this really sweet older woman, was actually the person that was there on the day. And we'll get to that part. But it was this really sweet older woman who kind of walked me through what I wanted it to look like, and they told me what we could do and what we couldn't do, and it was a great experience as far as the customer service experience. When I hung up the phone, I was like, wow, this is going to be amazing. You have any thoughts on that?
I'm curious, what happened after that? Were there more phone calls or emails or communications, or was
not
it just
to
that,
Disney?
One.
Yeah, I think it was just that. I gave them the date. I gave them the general time, and I think that was it. I don't know if we want to save this for later. We're not saving it for later, but basically. We decided on the wishing well. That would be kind of the ideal spot, because if you're familiar with Disneyland, the wishing well kind of has only two ways to get in. You can get in through the castle on the sort of back side where you go through a tunnel, or you can get in through the castle on the front side where you kind of walk around to the right. And so the person said that's a really good spot.
You can get in from the castle, or you can get in from the castle.
On the back side or the front side. I was very clear. One side has a tunnel, one does not. But
it's easy to block off.
Unlike
a lot of other areas.
Yeah, so they said that's a great spot. We can arrange to give you some privacy during that time. Okay? And from there, once I secured that, I started networking with Jessica's friends. Her one friend in particular who worked at Disneyland and had some pull. I started kind of networking.
She didn't work there then, though.
She didn't work there at that time?
No, we always think she did, because she ended up working there for a long time, and now she's a Disney executive, so she's kind of a big deal. But so we put her in that box of she worked there, but she didn't work there yet. She started working there shortly after that. Okay. I think her experience with us, getting to see all the cool things they did for us, sold her on working for Disney.
Okay. Well, so I don't remember any subsequent phone calls, but it feels like there had to have been subsequent communication with Disney to organize this whole thing, because it was fairly elaborate. So anyways, do you want to tell the actual day of story from your perspective?
So from my perspective, my friends and Nick and our group of friends in college went to Disneyland often with our annual passes, but my girlfriends had arranged a specific trip on a Friday because I was graduating that Saturday. So I graduated in December, a semester early. So they were like, we'll celebrate your graduation by doing a girls' day at Disney. I had invited Nick to come with us before I realized it was a girls' day, and he had told me he was working that day. And so he said, I have to work late that night. I'm not going to be able to come. And I said, that's okay. It'd be fun to just do a girls' day anyways. And so my girlfriends kind of made a big deal about, sorry if I knocked the camera, about doing this girls' day at Disney. So we planned it, and shortly before, I started kind of thinking, like, maybe something was up. There was, we'd been talking about getting engaged for a while. There was a lot of, like, I don't know, it was a little suspicious, like...
She knew it was coming at some point
knew,
in the future.
Right, and then, there was this day at Disney.
When it was not
Yeah, and
clear.
The fact that he said he wasn't coming that day because he had to work, obviously...
I made up a story about how I had to work.
Threw me off a little bit, and it was a Friday, so he usually worked on Fridays, but he worked for, like, after-school program, and so it made sense. It all kind of made sense. So my friend said they were taking me for my graduation, so... The day before, just in case, I got my nails done because...
You gotta be ready.
I don't have my nails done right now. I'd never have my nails done. But, if I was going to take pictures of the ring, I need to have my nails done. So I got my nails done with one of my friends. And then we went to Disneyland the next day. Got there early, and right away, one of my friends that was with us, who was kind of like leading the day for us, noticed a friend of hers. She said from high school, I don't remember how she said she knew her, that did work for Disney. This is the same friend who eventually worked for Disney too. And she said, oh, I know her. I used to go to school with her. I'm going to go talk to her for a little bit. And she went off to talk to this random friend. And me and my other friends were just talking and hanging out. It was during the year of a million dreams at Disney, which actually I've read lasted like 2 or 3 years because it was so successful. But we all kind of knew there was this thing going on. And... So my friend, when she came back from talking to her other friend, said, you guys won't believe this, but my friend who works here, she can hook us up with one of the Year of a Million Dreams surprises. We just have to be like walking by the Storybook Land rides at a certain time, and one of their guides will come and surprise us and say, hey, you guys have won a special prize. It's Year of a Million Dreams, and you get to have VIP backstage front of the line passes for the rest of your day. And we didn't really know if this was for reals, but we were like, okay, well, if your friend can hook us up with that sounds awesome. So we timed it right, and we were walking by, and just as we were walking by, this nice older lady comes who has her little cast member outfit on and her little name tag, and I can't remember her name. It's killing me that I can't remember her name. But she comes up to us and she says, hey ladies, would you like a special tour for Year of a Million Dreams? And we were like, yeah, it actually worked. That's awesome. And so this cast member took us on all the rides in Fantasyland. Were there fast passes back then?
I don't remember.
I don't think they had fast passes.
I don't think they
And if they did have fast passes, it was just obviously the paper fast passes,
yeah, it's definitely
not
paper.
Max Pass. And we didn't have them. And she took us basically into the fast pass lane, or through, if you were to have what is it,
handicap,
there's a disability services passes. So she took us basically through the exit on all the rides in Fantasyland, which I hadn't rode in years because those lines are always ridiculously long, and they don't even have fast passes in Disneyland. Disneyland did have fast passes, but it was just the paper ones and not all the rides. Definitely not the ones in Fantasyland. So we went on all the rides. She took us the back way, and she took us through, and we were like, this is the best day ever. And I thought it was celebrating my graduation, so I was like, this is such a great way to celebrate graduation. But while we were walking with her, the cast member kept talking about how she also helps out with engagements there, which I thought was so weird because I was kind of still a little suspicious that something might happen or we might get engaged. And she kept talking about how she only could be with us until 6 o'clock because she had to go set up for this big engagement that was going to happen during the fireworks. And she kept talking about how she had to help, and there was all this planning involved, and there was this engagement she had to help with during the fireworks. And looking back, I'm not sure why she shared that information, but it actually worked in our favor because it really threw me off, because I was like, there's no way if this lady was in on it that she would just be talking
about
to
some
me
other engagement
about it. And then I was like, well, what if it really is her job to do these VIP tours during the Year of a Million Dreams, and she also is doing an engagement, and what if she doesn't know it's me?
what if
Nick is coming later and she doesn't realize it, and she's accidentally spoiling it for me?
Oh, tragic.
But I was trying not to think too much about it and just have fun and not overthink it. And so as it was starting to get dark, my friends were like kind of like stressing out a little bit about timing. We had a dinner reservation actually at the Jazz Kitchen in downtown Disney. And they kept like, "Oh, it's okay. We don't need to be there for the reservation. It's fine. We don't need to go." And they were just acting a little strange. And the cast member took us to the wishing well. Said like, "This is really special place, you guys. This is such a special place at the parks. You guys need to go toss a penny into the wishing well. It's so special." And my friends were like, "Nah, we're good." And I remember being like, "Guys, that's so rude. This like older woman who's been touring us around and taking us on all these rides, like all she wants is to go like toss a penny in the wishing well, and you guys are being so rude." Because they were like, "No, I'm good. I don't think I have any coin. It's fine. I don't need to do that." So I was like, "I'll do it. That sounds great. Like, thanks." And I got my wallet out and I walked over to toss my penny into the wishing well. And I'm holding my wallet with my money and cash in it, and I go to like toss it in, and then all of a sudden Nick taps me on the shoulder, I think. Like I hadn't realized no one else was around.
I might have said something. I don't remember.
I don't exactly remember. And we were supposed to have this recorded. My sister was supposed to be there to videotape all of this. They ended up getting stuck in terrible LA traffic, which is why the timing got... Oh, that was the other thing. The cast member kept saying, like, "Oh, let's go on one more ride." And then she'd be like, "Oh, I can't do any more rides after this. I've got to get going." And then they'd, like, get off the ride and look at each other. And then she'd be like, "Actually, let's do one more ride." And then they'd get off that ride. And I kept being like... And then my friends would be like, "Can we please just do one more ride? Can we just do, like, one more thing?" And I was like, "You guys, that's so rude. She's already been so nice to us and done, like, so much for us." And... like, "It's okay, you can go, I know you have a lot to do." And she's like, "No, it's okay, I'll take you to the wishing well." So there was just like all this like weird stuff going on. But I'd go to toss the penny in, and then Nick comes up behind me and taps me on the shoulder. Oh, and I had just like text messaged him probably like a few minutes before that. Just been like, "Hey, miss you, how's work going?" And he was like, "Work's going fine, on a little break, miss you too," or something. And so... in my brain, I was like, okay, he's still not even off work yet. Like, if he is planning to come later and surprise me, it's not for hours. And I'm tossing the penny in. I feel a little tap on my shoulder and turn around, and, like, he's just there. Just, like, appeared out of nowhere. Like magic.
So on my side of things, I do recall now as we're talking about this that I think the events person asked for a contact of a friend. They kind of asked me how I wanted to do it, and I told them I think I had already sort of worked out with Jessica's friends that we were going to do something like this where we had her already there with her friends and then me meeting them there. And so they asked for the contact, and I think they did some emailing back and forth, kind of devising this plan or this scheme. And so that's how it worked out, where the group of Jessica and her friends walked by the woman who was actually there for them. There was no...
Well, there was a Year of a Million Dreams.
Right, but there was no contest
No.
or anything like that. That was all part of the setup, which was cool.
But the thing my friend added on was that conversation with her friend. That was
Right,
something
that was
she added
spontaneous.
because she knew that I would be really suspicious if just randomly we were chosen
Yes.
out of the crowd. So she tried to make it seem like, oh, this isn't just totally random. I knew someone who is helping out.
And then the reason why they were stalling was because I was texting in traffic trying to get to Disneyland that I was running late.
It must have been like a big accident on the 5 or something.
It was the same
day.
traffic that her family was supposed to meet us there, her little brother and sister, and kind of film this happening from like a hidden location, or as hidden as they could be in that area. And so we were all trying to work out to arrive at the same time, but it ended up that like there was no way they were going to make it in time because they were even later than me. And Jessica's friends were trying to stall as I was texting. I'm 15 minutes away, I'm 10 minutes away, I'm parking, and so that's
make
why
it really exciting. But
Yeah,
I didn't know any of
it had to
it.
be a little
I just thought they
tricky.
kept asking to go on more rides. I forgot about that part where they kept saying like, "Can you just take us on one more ride?" And I was like, "You guys, no, she's already done so much nice things.
And so I got Jessica's attention. They had her looking at the wishing well. I came up. I was kind of hiding in the tunnel area. I came up behind.
I remember
got
I was
her
holding
attention.
my wallet because I had
She's
got my
holding her
wallet out to
wallet.
get the coins, and I like almost dropped it in the wishing well because I was so surprised.
And I got down on one knee and I said some stuff. I don't remember exactly what I said. I should remember,
really
but I
nice.
don't. I said some nice stuff. But she still kind of had her wallet out there, and I showed her the ring.
So I like froze.
And she nearly dropped her wallet in the wishing well, which I'm sure we could have got it, but that was kind of funny.
Deep. Yeah.
And so I showed her the ring.
Yeah. And the first thing, because we had looked at rings, we were super poor, super young. We had literally no money to our names besides these Disney annual passes, which back then were like.
Which our parents got for us, right?
My first
we didn't
one,
buy those things on our own.
Well, I think my first one was like a Christmas present because they used to be like $150 or something ridiculous. Now you can't even go for one day for $150 to Disneyland, but that's a different story. I think by that point we bought them ourselves, but they were just crazy cheap, especially when you could pay for them monthly. But anyways, I don't know if we could do that back then. We had no money, so when we looked at rings briefly, they were all like really itty bitty tiny baby diamonds, which I didn't mind. I didn't care. I didn't need anything crazy. But when he showed me the ring, which is still the ring I have right now, I didn't even answer his question. I just was like, "It's huge." And he was like, "And you're gonna answer my question?" I was like, "Oh yeah, yes, I will marry you, but let me look at the ring some more." And then there was all these people that had kind of been held off at either end of the walkway that all started clapping and cheering and saying congratulations. And then it was like kind of when I realized that there's other people around. It's not just us. And the cast member started ringing this little bell and saying they're engaged. And so everybody who was within earshot cheered and clapped. And then they gave us these for free. Hooked it up. And they've stood the test of time.
Yep.
And then immediately they took us in front of the castle. And you know how there's PhotoPass photographers and the lines are crazy long. It's at Christmas time too, so the castle's all lit up for Christmas. So everybody wants a picture at nighttime. And they let us go right to the front of the line. We didn't have to wait in the line.
It was great. We got another
pictures.
VIP treatment.
Yeah, so then the rest of the night, she kept doing for us what she had been doing with my friends. And then my sister and brother finally got there too and got to join us for the rest of the night. She got us on all the rides without waiting in line. We got VIP seats for the parade. And then we had planned to come back the next day after graduation with the whole family. So she gave us a ton of passes for the next day. So yeah, they must have had fast passes back then. That were good for the whole weekend. So we used those the next day when we came back with our family. And we had a big dinner at Ariel's Grotto, which was my favorite. I'm so sad it's gone.
So all in all, it was a great experience.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Disney hooked it up. Some people might say it's cliche a little bit to get engaged at Disneyland, but we are Disney people, and I love that.
I'm always nervous or, feel a little bit embarrassed when I just say we got engaged at Disneyland, but then when I tell people the story, like you people.
all you wonderful people.
Yes, all 5 of you. People tend to appreciate it more because it is kind of a fun
It's a whole ordeal.
Story.
Yeah.
And so
it
wasn't
just we were on Splash Mountain and then at the end of the drop you were like, "Oh, marry me."
No.
Although that would be kind of cool.
That was a bigger
I'm not gonna
deal.
lie, that would be kind of cool.
I didn't do that. Sorry. Next time. But this time of year, we always like to remember that. So we thought it would be fun.
Yeah, it was. This
to
week,
share with all of you.
Christmas at Disney, best memories. Oh, and one of the cool thing is now, because we still take our kids to Disneyland, back in the day when you could go to Disneyland, and we always can take them by the wishing well and show them exactly where we got engaged. And they don't really care because they're kids. They're like,
True.
That's cool.
It's
When's
not
our
that big of a
next
deal
Fast
for them.
Pass time? I want a Mickey bar. But we like it. It's still fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun to show them. So.
We'll show a picture or two. We don't have really video of it, but we'll show what we can.
Photo quality wasn't
you guys
great back then, but we got some
on this
we got
vlog.
some pictures.
And that'll be that.
And now we've been married
Thanks
for 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
So get engaged at Disneyland and you're guaranteed happiness.
That's right.
That's
Walt.
the moral of the story.
Walt guaranteed
Did I hit
it.
you with
You did. You
Sorry.
got me with your ears.
It's kind of dangerous. Sorry about that. Love you.
Love you too, sweetie. Bye, everybody.